Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome back to Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey, and back with new challengers, which is most likely going to be the first time we actually see a pendulum deck, and I see most likely, I know what deck I'm playing, we will be seeing a pendulum deck here. But let's take a look at what the set itself houses. We have, I think, like for the majority of at least the first half of Arc 5, we will have basically every single set having Performer Pals in there. They're just like various pendulum cards with various effects. I don't really know how to categorize them better than that, but just know that we have these. Melodious are a tribute summoning archetypes. Super Heavy Samurai, also something that we will be seeing for a long time. They basically have 2 gimmicks, one being that they don't want to have spell traps in their grave or sets. Basically, they don't want to have spell traps. Use play Sekka's Light in this deck, and they can attack while in defense position and use their defense for damage calculation. We also have a bunch of Fluffles, a fusion archetype here. Then we have Cleese, who are a tribute summoning pendulum archetype, sort of a mixture, and also gives us Apocleafort Towers, which is a highlight card that I actually want to talk about, because the term Towers is what's been used ever since this card came out in Yu-Gi-Oh! To refer to a boss monster that is unaffected by basically everything. So what Towers does, Towers takes 3 tributes, why was pronouncing that so hard? And specifically Fleece to be normal summoned or set, basically a god card. And then it is unaffected by spell trap effects and by activated effects of any monster with original level or rank lower than Towers, which means that only rank and level 11s and 12s can effective with effects. And then all special summon monsters lose 500 attack and defense. And then once per turn, you can make your opponent send a monster from their hand or their side of the field or graveyard, their choice. It is loaded with powerful effects. It is unaffected by basically anything. It is an incredibly potent boss monster. Luckily, I can peel back a little bit. I'm playing Klee this set, and we're seeing Towers hopefully for the only time now, and we actually have, this is like one of the few sets where we actually have access in our restricted format to stuff to actually deal with. So it shouldn't just completely take over stuff, luckily. We have Satellar Knights, we have Shadows, we've seen those before as well. We have Yang Zings here as well. I think we also saw those in Duelist Alliance. They're a synchro spam archetype. Machina Mega Form for Machinas, we have Mega Monarchs. Rescues, I'm not actually sure if we've seen rescue cards before. Is this the first one? No, we've definitely seen like Rabbit and Cat. We haven't just seen, never mind, I'm stupid, sorry. Denko Sekka, like I said, this is also Denko Sekka and Sekka's Light, but I don't think we have Sekka's Light yet. So something to consider when playing Super Heavy Samurai. We have Scrounging Goblin here, so you have access to stuff like Upstart Goblin if you want. Fight First, more Shadow fusions here as well. Heart of Arclight there as well. Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon. Name having Dark, so that gives you access to a lot of stuff if you can use them. And then like a lot of the, we start entering the era where a lot of the generic spells and traps are not great. There are obvious some highlights here and there, like the Bamboo Sword gives you the Bamboo Sword engine, where you can use that to draw 2 with Golden Bamboo Sword, but it's not crazy. But most of the time, it's like stuff that's good for a specific archetype, obviously. Like I think we talked about with Duelist Alliance, like the Arc 5 era is when we start really heavily moving into archetypes. Solemn Scalding is what I was referring to. So Solemn Scalding obviously gives us access to Warning and Judgment and the likes as well. You know, Strike, but Strike's probably the worst for this. And obviously, with this, like, if I'm assuming Jeexx plays this, because if Towers hits the field, then I don't know if there's literally anything in the set to deal with. We also have some more Burning Abyss cards as well as UAs, and then a little bit more of extra stuff. But I think like the final highlight I want to talk about is Scolding and Solemn cards in general, because obviously like against Pendulum cards and Pendulum Summon, it's a very potent package to have access to, especially when also Tower says like if it's normal summoned, and then it's unaffected by spells and traps and the monster effects. But obviously like the Solemn cards stop the summons, so they still work fine. And obviously you can just stop the Pendulum Summon, because putting 3 tributes on the board with the Pendulum Summon, very unlikely. But also we have Fusion Substitute here, we have access to Polymerization anyway, so if Jeexx wants to play something like Fluffles or Fright First, I don't know what the archetypes. I think the archetype is Fluffles, because like Fluffles make the Fright First, who are the fusions. But if Jeexx wants to play that, like he has additional fusion cards in his disposal. But that is the set breakdown. A lot of stuff I talked about. I still feel like 6 minutes is fine for it. So hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully, not hopefully, I will see you. I mean, hopefully I will see you in the deck breakdowns next.
Okay, so the new challengers. We're playing some Zing this time. I think in Duelist Alliance I was also thinking about playing Zing originally, because the fact that I think Zings are kind of cool. Like synchro plays on your opponent's turn are really fun, and overall like having different kinds of synchro lines is cool. Like having access to a billion different cards in this set, for example, really opened up kinda interesting lines with the Zings that I have access to specifically in this set. But there was also another thing that caused me to not play Zings last time, and it's the fact that we did not have Yatu, which is like the starter for this entire deck. This entire deck kind of relies on this card's existence, or else you're fucked. And yeah, well, let's start off with Beyond the Earth of the Zing. When this card you control is destroyed by battle card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Zing monster from your deck in defense position, except this one. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon one Zing using only Zing monsters you control. This is a quick effect, and a synchro monster that uses this card as synchro material cannot be destroyed by battle. So basically, Zings almost all have the like generic effect of if it gets popped, you get to summon a Zing monster in either defense or attack, and the way that is determined is depending on which of the values, which of the attack stat or the attack or defense stat is that card's main stat. So for example, Beyond has attack and 0 defense, and other cards might have 0 attack and 2000 defense, and so on and so forth. So they alternate from going from a card with attack to a card with defense, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And also, I think all of them have the generic Formula Synchron effect, where you can summon only using Zing monsters during your opponent's turn. And there's a few cards like Baxia that really use this effect very well. But later, later we'll find out that like these effects, the final part, when like in kayfabe, I kind of forgot that these exist entirely, like in their entirety. But all the Zing monsters have an effect that like applies buffs to the synchro monster that it summons. So for example, Beyond, not destroyed by battle, Bixi, not affected by traps, Light, or the Chian Light, this is different entirely, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, my bad. Bixi has everything else except for everything else that is the same, except that it's defense and it's a lower level. It's a water monster and has the effect of unaffected by synchro. The synchro monster is unaffected by traps. And then we have Chiwen, which is the other decent card. No, not decent card. The other tuner in the set. Not set, the archetype. Again, summons a Zing, but this time in any position because it has 0 attack and 0 defense. And when a Zing monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, and this is in the graveyard, you can special summon it and banish it when it leaves the field. So this is basically reusable, especially because Zings like to pop their own stuff. Yep. And then we have Gia2, Darkness of the Yang Zing. When this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon one Yang Zing from your deck. And if you control no other monsters, you can send 2 Yang Zing cards from your hand to the graveyard and special summon one Yang Zing monster with 0 attack and defense. 0 attack and one Yang Zing monster with 0 defense from your deck, but banish them during the end phase. You can only use one Gia2 Darkness of the Yang Zing once per turn and only once that turn. Oh, one of these effects once per turn and only once that turn. Plague Spreader, Wind of the Yang Zing has the effect of unaffected by spells. Fire the Yang Zing gives 500 attack to the Synchro monster, and then we have Taltia, Shadow the Yang Zing. It's a level 5, which is kind of rare because like most of these have been normal summonable so far. When this card you control is destroyed by valor card effect, again summons a Yang Zing defense, and then again a quick effect in Memphis or battle phase, immediately Synchro summon, and then the effect is position of a Synchro monster on the field that use this card as Synchro material cannot switch. Worthless. And then we have Unmasked Dragon. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon one worm monster with 1,500 less defense from your deck. So I was originally thinking like Unmasked Dragon, it goes into GR2, but I'm stupid and I didn't realize that it was defense and not attack. But anyway. Mimic Clay for filler, because it was in the set. If your opponent controls a monster, target one level 2 or lower defense position monster you control. Spell summon from your deck in defense position one monster with the same name as that monster, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, for example, I want to do synchro plays. I happen to have, for some reason, Chiwen and Big Shi on the field, and then I decide I'm going to use Mimic Clay on the Big Shi to get out into a level 5, which I don't think I have a Gram here, but still, yeah. But yeah, this is just here for filler. MST here specifically because if my opponent happens to be playing a Pendulum deck, and also because it's filler. Like, as you can probably see, my deck is kind of fucked. My deck is severely fucked. I know for a fact that Weebfox is going to be playing Cleese, which means that, like, there's towers, and I cannot play it around towers outside of, like, literally trying to prevent towers. And if I don't, like, prevent towers from coming on board, I just lose every time. Well, with one exception. And then we have Solemn Judgment and Solemn Scolding and Solemn Warning, which all are in here, again, to prevent towers from hitting the board. The Phantom Knight's Shadow Veil is here for filler, so that I can, like, have whatever the fuck I have in here, and for, like, making it possible for me to survive. Yang Zing Creation is here for just, again, filler. Once per turn, if a monster you control is for a battle or card effect, I can spell summon one Yang Zing monster from my deck, and can spell summon monsters from my extra deck, except for Synchro monsters. And then we have some of the side deck cards. So we have a lot of cards with like different names that wouldn't really work otherwise. Like you would not be able to get access to these unless we were in a set that had a lot of single, very powerful words like Dark, Rebellion, XYZ Dragon gives me access to Dark Arm Dragon. Jiao2, Darkness of the Yang Zing gives me access to Gorse, the Emissary of Darkness. Finally we're going to see Gorse. Then we have Neo Special Dark Panther, which is also in here thanks to Dark Rebellion Dragon. And again, this card is the only silver bullet that I have in the deck, pretty much. Like this like not only, but like if you consider the Solemn Judgments and the MSTs as something that like I'm playing because I don't want to deal with towers, then this is one of many silver bullets. But this card is in here specifically because it has the effect of sending towers to the graveyard if my opponent has no other monsters in hand or field. So I summon Dark Panther, I say it's towers now, and then I activate towers effect, which is my opponent sends cards to the graveyard. It's not I send, or my card sends cards to the graveyard. My opponent chooses cards on their side of the field, either hand or board, monster specifically, and sends it to the graveyard. And that works. I have tested this. It makes sense logically and in every way. There is no way that this does not work. And if it turns out that it doesn't, then this game is broken and there's other effects in the game that shouldn't ever work either. But yeah, now then we have Dark Hole because board wipe. Board wipe is fucking really need this thing. Again, dark is such a strong keyword here. Yang Zing Path. Oh, I didn't talk about Yang Zing Path. Target 3 Yang Zing monsters in your graveyard and shuffle all. Yang Zing monsters, shuffle all 3 into the deck and draw 2 cards. So basically allows you to reuse a lot of the Yang Zing stuff. So when I go into GR2, I'm gonna always have 3 in the graveyard. Yang Zing Piranha. This card gains effects based on the number of attributes of the Yang Zing monsters in your graveyard have. Yang Zing monsters can gain 500 attack if you have 2 or more. Yang Zing monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect. If a Yangzing monster you control will be destroyed by card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead if you have 3 or more. Your opponent cannot set monsters, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to attack position if you have 4 or more. And with 5 or more, you can send this card to the graveyard and destroy all cards on the field. Okay, and then we have Creation again, and then we have Unleashed. All monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. During either player's main phase or battle phase, you can send this face-up card from the spell and trap card to the graveyard. Immediately after this, effect resolve, synchro summon one synchro monster using 1 or more Yangzing monsters you control as synchro materials. Ally of Justice Light Gazer, and this thing is in here because I have access to light because of of the Chiven, and then it's level 8, and that's it. Then we have Baksha. When this card is synchro summon, it's a worm. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that, but these are worms. Like, these cards are worms, and they're the first worm archetype. Yeah. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one card on target cards on the field up to the number of different original attributes of worm monsters used to synchro summon this card. Shuffle them into the deck. Once per turn, you can target one card you control and one card level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and destroy that card on the field. And if you do, special summon that other card from the graveyard. So, for example, if I happen to have a situation where I have a Yangzing monster in my field and I want to pop that, I want to summon another Yangzing from a graveyard, I can pop it, and then Chiwen will also trigger, so I will get 2 cards out of the graveyard for the cost of popping a single Yangzing monster. Graham is here for a level 5. Nothing else. It has no other effect. Dark End Dragon, again, because it's the dark and I have access to it through like Tautia and everything else, has the effect that once per turn, it's a level 8 Synchro Dragon monster, Dark Synchro. You can target one monster your opponent controls. This card loses 5 at attack and defense and send that target to the graveyard. That's pretty fucking good. It's destruction, like, it circumvents destruction protection. Sadly, because I need to target the card, and it's this card's effect, and it's I'm doing the thing, it doesn't work. It's not a, like, state-based action, like, in a way. So, yeah. Then Herald of the Arclight is in here because it's protection. Any monster sent from the hand of the graveyard or the main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. When a spell, trap, card, or monster effect is activated, quick effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand. So basically, I summon it with like Chiwen and Beyond, for example, and can't be destroyed by battle, so it'll just sit there and my opponent has to deal with it with actual removal, or I can just use it to like deal with other removals that he might have. I think this is overall going to be a really good addition. Star Eater, level 11, must be synchro summon, cannot be summoned by any other means. This card's synchro summon cannot be negated. When synchro summon, cards and effects can be activated. If this card attacks, it is unaffected by the other card's effects until the end of the damage step. So basically, this thing is the actual solution. Like, ignoring all the gimmicky stuff that I have in here, this is the solution to towers. Like, this is level 11, so it's bigger than towers. Like, in terms of level, it's got more attack than towers. So if I get into this thing and I swing with it, my all effects that reduce this card's attack are nullified. So as long as towers doesn't have any buffs, this will swing over towers. And the way that we have this thing is through, what was it again? There is a clear card that I was using for this. Oh yeah, it's the Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. And then we have original Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. You can discard one Burning Abyss card and then target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. And if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card. You can only use this effect of Virgil once per turn. Then we have the new synchro for Yangzings, Yazi. Cannot be targeted by... your opponent can target this card on the field with card effects. You can only use each of these effects of Yazi, Evil Yangzings once per turn. You can target one Yangzing monster you control and one card your opponent controls and destroy them. And when this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one worm monster from your deck in defense position. So again, you have Yazi on the field, you pop Yazi, you pop a creature, you pop a monster your opponent controls, you get Chiwen out and you get another card out, and then you can do another synchro play. Denglong, for example, and so on and so forth. And then we have Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, which I don't think I'm going to be able to summon this in this game, but it has the effect of being a generic XYZ, rank 4, of course. You can detach 2 materials from this card and then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its current attack, and if so, this card gains that lost attack. But that about does it. I'm fairly excited to play this deck. I think this is going to be super interesting to both pilot, and overall the matchup should be fun. Kinda. Like, it's it's probably gonna suck. Like, the match itself is gonna probably suck to play, but at least this deck will be fun to pilot. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
What is up, ladies, guys and gals, and welcome back. And here's the deck that we are going to be playing. Like I said in the set breakdown, we are going to be playing Klee. And I mean, Towers is too iconic to not play at some point, and I feel like a lot of the other stuff in this set, like Satellar Knights, Super Heavy Samurai, that I really want to play at some point, I feel like that's stuff that I'll play later. So I figured, like, you know what, let's just play Klee here. And also we have access to trampolines in this set, which I feel like works really well with Scout in this set. So let's go card by card and see what we are working with. So Klee Carrier at 3 copies. So all of our scales are either 1 or 9. So we can get basically everything in our deck except for Towers, Pendulum Summoned. But starting us off, we have Klee Carrier, and we actually now need to talk about both the monster effect and the pendulum effect. So all of the Klee Pendulum monsters share the effect where they can be normal summoned without tributing, and if you do if they normal summon without tributing or get special summoned, then their level becomes 4 and original attack becomes 1800. And then they have additional effects. Klee Carriers, the additional attack is being unaffected by activated effects of any monster whose original level rank is lower than this card's current level. Obviously, it's only normal summon set, so if you pendulum summon this, you don't get it. And then if it's tributed, you can target a monster in the field, return it to the hand. Actually, the first prize, yeah, this is shared with everyone. And then, sorry, I mixed things up. All of them have also the Towers effect where they're unaffected by stuff lower level than them. And then they either have an effect when they're tribute or when they get tribute summoned. Carrier has a when tributed effect, where if it's tributed, you can target a monster in the field and return it to the hand. And the scale effect is you cannot spell summon a monster except Klee monster, which I think is shared upon. Yeah, all of them share the same effect except of its trampolines. And then it gives statically all Klee monsters you control 300 attack. Then we have a disc, where same thing, but literally the same scale effect, but the effect is activated by tribute summoning disc, the monster effect, that is, sorry. You can spell summon 2 Klee monsters from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase. Disc is the best tribute summon that we have, because obviously we have a normal summon. We use that to tribute for disc, and then the effect of disc gets 2 more Klee monsters from our attack. Then we have 3 if we have an extra normal, then we can use it for Towers, which we sometimes will have an extra normal. We'll talk about that. Then we have Scout, which is the best card that we have apart from Towers. It doesn't have an effect. It is a normal monster, but the pendulum effect is once again locking you out. I don't know why I'm repeating that, because it is dependent on all of these, but it can, once per turn, you can pay 800 to add a Klee card from your deck, except Klee Scout. And it's just a soft once per turn, which is why Lynx is really good, as we'll cover in a little bit. But before that, we have Klee Shell, which the pendulum effect lowers your opponent's monster's attacks by 300. And then the effect of tribute summoning Shell lets it make a second attack during each battle phase and inflict piercing. Not great. It is literally here to give us an additional Klee name and an additional 9. But honestly, maybe would be better to just run a 3rd Helix. Like, I was going back and forth with this. I was basically, at the end, I was just like, yeah, let me just run each of these just for shits and giggles. Most of the time, we're not using these the attributed effect anyway. But for Helix, same thing here. For the scale 9, lowers your opponent's monster's attack by 300. And then if it's attributed, you can target a spell trap on the field and destroy it. So definitely better than Shell. Like, maybe it would be better to run a 3 Helix, but I think we'll be fine. And for our final pendulum monster, we have Performer Pal Trampolines, where the pendulum effect, where you pendulum summon a monster, you can target a card in either player's pendulum zone to return it to the hand. And then on normal summon, it also targets a card in either player's pendulum zone, return it to the hand. This is what's very good about Trampolines, like in the early turns. We have something like Scout and Trampolines, like we set Scout as scale, we use the effect, we add a Klee card from our deck to our hand, we normal Trampolines, we add back to our hand Scout, we rescale Scout, we use the effect again since it's a soft once per turn. Now we have added 2 Klee cards from our deck to our hand, and we also have, with these two, we also have access to just like getting our entire, getting our entire main deck except for towers pendulum summoned. So we can then set up, we have 2 Klee cards we can set up with those to then tribute 4 towers next turn. It plays really well in the deck, and I'm very happy that it's included in the set. And then we have the boss monster of the deck. I was talking about this in the set breakdown already, but we'll cover it again. Towers, 3k, imagine if this was 6k, Jesus Christ. 3k basic with a bunch of good effects. Can be special summoned, requires 3 Klees to normal summon and set, and if it is normal summoned or set, it is then unaffected by all spell and trap effects and by activated effects from any monster whose original level or rank is lower than this card's current level. Which means if you have level increases, you can make it even crazier, but obviously those are very niche, and already being unaffected by anything that isn't a level or rank 11 or 12 covers basically all of the game. And in addition to that, even the big stuff that would just be able to crash or beat over this, spell summon monsters lose 500 attack and defense. So like even like generic stuff like maybe RDA, for example, being a 3k level 8 synchro. With this, it's a 2500, so it can't even crash. It's insanely powerful. And then to top it all off, it also has an effect where once per turn you can make your opponent send a monster from their hand or field to the grave, and it's obviously sent, so also very good. They get the pick, but still, like being this almost unbeatable boss monster where you're constantly stripping your opponent of resources, it's insanely powerful. Then for our spell trap lineup, we have 2 Sacrifice. We have a third one in the side as well, where there's an equip. You equip to a Klee monster, it gains 300 attack and cannot be destroyed by battle, and then the equipped monster can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a Klee monster, which is the most relevant part of a Sacrifice. And then if it's sent from the field to a grave, you can add a Klee monster from your deck to the hand. Very good. It's just a bunch of like good stuff in an equip, but most importantly, like obviously we always want to be tributing 4 towers, so only needing 2 instead of 3 to get towers is very good. Another card that is very good is Laser Clip, a field spell where during your main phase you can normal summon a Klee monster in addition to a normal summon or set. And normal summons of Klee monster cannot be negated. 2 insanely good effects. Like we said earlier, like stuff like Trampolines and Scout. We set Scout, we add a Klee into our hand with normal Trampolines to then rescale Scout to add an additional thing. Now we have gotten 2 things where like we can add a towers and something else, and if we have if we have an additional scale, if we have a way to get to that, like usually we will not get that in 1 turn, but if we get it in, if we draw another Klee, then we basically just immediately have enough resources to go into towers, and this just makes it easier because obviously like we can normal if needed, we can normal Trampolines on the same turn where we also tribute 4 towers, or we can just normal one of our Klees if we don't have access to scales, and maybe that'll give us stuff. It can even work with stuff like we normal something like Helix or Carrier and use the additional normal to get disc to then have 3. Obviously then we won't have the summon 4 towers, so it's kind of a desperation play, but if we have literally any Klee on the board, then tributing for a disc and then using the extra normal on towers immediately gets us to towers. And like this is so important because basically the thing about this set is there is nothing that deals with tower essentially when it's on the board. Like nothing just deals with towers in the set. if it hits the field. So stuff like the solemn cards are a way to stop it from hitting the field. But with laser clip, now the only thing that can be solemned are the pendulum summons, which obviously like that's still very good, a very good way to stop it. But like anything that helps us get us to 2 towers is obviously huge. On that note, 3 MST, Jeexx needs solemns. Like, I feel like for him, like, even stuff like Solemn Scolding is actually really good. And obviously it needs to be the only set card that he has. Obviously he can set something like a Judgment and a Scolding, use the Judgment first, then Scolding comes online. But like, if he's only setting one, very good chance that it's Scolding. So being able to snipe that way at MST when we go into our Pendulum Summons, obviously very good. Then we have a super small bamboo sword engine, just because if you've paid attention to what we have a bunch of stuff that is basically worthless on normal summon. We want to always get the towers. Trample Links really helps us with Scout, but Scout is what gets us everything. We need to find this card or we can't do anything. So we need all the consistency that we can get. So I just threw a small bamboo sword engine in here just to have access to Golden Bamboo Sword, which is, if you control a Bamboo Sword quick spell, this is a Pot of Greed. Broken Bamboo Sword here as just a 4th copy if I feel like I'm drawing Golden Bamboo Sword but not getting my cursed ones. But we have 3 cursed ones. It's an quick spell that basically does nothing, and then you can target an additional Bamboo Sword card you control to return it to the hand when Cursed Bamboo Sword is equipped on the field, and then the monster equipped with Cursed Bamboo Sword can attack directly this turn. And then if it's sent to a grave, you can add a Bamboo Sword card from your deck to your hand, except Cursed Bamboo Sword. That's also why we ran the single Broken Bamboo Sword, because obviously if we have an additional one of these already, we can then get Golden Bamboo Sword. If we don't, then we just grab this and we're always just thinning our deck and finding Scouts more easily. I'm realizing I'm yapping a lot, so let me speed up a little. Solemn Scalding, if it's the only set card in your spell drop zone, or when a monster would be summoned or a spell trap is or a monster effect is activated. Basically, as long as this is your only set card in your spell trap zone, it's an Omni Negate for 3,000 life points. Obviously very good. But I'm more interested in the other ones, which is why I'm only running one of this. I expect Jeexx to be running this at probably 2 to 3 at least, because like I think Jeexx just will have like 3 of each of these. I don't think he's going to be running Strike, because kind of sucks for this. But like literally all of this just stopping summons. Like I feel like he would be crazy to not run 3 of each. If Jeexx only also on a Pendulum archetype, then I'm probably going to be hurting from not running more Scaldings. But I feel like the limitation with us, like having also something like MST that we want to be setting, the limitation might come up like quite often. And I feel like I've told Jeexx I'm playing Klee, so I don't think he would be going for the mirror. I think that because mirrors are just innately like pretty boring most of the time. So we've been trying to avoid those. So if it's not the mirror, like I'm not too fond of Scalding over stuff like Judgment Warning, and I quite like the ratios that we have in our deck. So that's why I only want Scalding. Solemn Warning, 2000 stops spell traps, monster effects, and summons. Solemn Judgment stops anything. Warning is 2000 life points. Solemn Judgment has your lifespan. We've seen this before. We know what they do. As for the side deck, it's a bunch of stuff that we probably won't see. I was really happy with my main deck already. And I just threw a bunch of garbage in here that I most likely won't be using. Deck Gozaka is here just because it's cool. I think the card looks pretty. Edge Imp Sabers. If it's in your graveyard, you can place a card from your hand to the top of the deck to spell summon this in defense position. Helps potentially with tribute summoning, but I don't know if we would ever side into this. 2 Climate Change. If we find like a bunch of our stuff going into the extra deck, then we can use these to get them back to our hand. But obviously, like for the time, since you don't have to worry about the extra monster zones when pendulum summoning, even from the extra deck, I figured to like either throw this in the side, because I think most of the time we want to be pendulum summoning anyway, so that stuff being there doesn't matter. So a copy of Sacrifice, a single Trigger to Monarchs, where you contribute a face-up level 5 or higher normal summoned or set monster to target a face-up card on the field, negates its effects, then draw 1 card. It's weird, but we are on a tribute archetype, so this might come up. Like we can use this as effect negation that also gives us a draw, and then the second part doesn't matter unless we signed in the monarch package, but then we have a small monarch package here that we probably don't care about. The only thing that maybe matters is Mobius, because obviously it gives us a spell trap pops to deal with stuff like the set Solemns. As for our extra deck, nothing here is stuff that we can realistically summon. The only thing here that we might be able to get is Utopia Beyond. If we have stuff like Carrier or Helix at a couple copies, but even then, like, we would have to have those on the board while not having a scale set, which is so unlikely to come up. But we're not worrying about our extra deck. So, but if Utopia Beyond comes up, it's a 3k beat stick where on Xyz summon all your opponent's attacks that they control become 0, and as a quick effect once per turn, you can detach a material from this card to banish an Xyz card that you have and get a Utopia from our grave to gain life points. We don't have a way to get Utopias in our grave, so it is literally, okay, summon this, make your opponent's monstrous attacks 0, and then you have a beat stick. It's a desperation play that is so unlikely to come up, but it's there. And then I just threw a bunch of whatever numbers here, what they would look like if we had forced to go into them. The only 4 we have is Tenkoseka. We will not be siding into it, so it doesn't matter. But I think Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon is cool. So, yeah. That was a long one. I honestly don't know why. I guess, like, I recorded this pretty shortly after I recorded this pretty shortly after I got out of bed, so maybe my brain was jumbled. But with all that being said, though, hopefully you enjoyed still regardless. And once again, like, sorry for making it so long, sorry for yapping so much. But I hope you enjoyed the deck breakdowns overall, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. So I will see y'all in the Dueling Zone next. What is up, ladies and lads, and welcome back to the Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. And time for the first proper Pendulum episode, at least from my side, with new challengers. And we've been having already, in the couple minutes we've been here, a lot of connection issues with dueling books. So hopefully it'll hang in there and we can get through this. Ooh, that's bad. Jeez. This episode on Skate and Jeexx. Do you have anything to say about the episode before we get started?
New Challengers is, well, right after Duelist Alliance, it introduces a bunch of very powerful strategies in the game, or well, more specifically, a single very powerful strategy called Cliffords, and it's the only playable Pendulum deck for quite some time. Mostly because the fact that the majority of Performance Power stuff is sort of just weak on its own and doesn't really have any kind of function on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So as Arc V progresses, as all the stuff gets better and better, Cliffords will stop being as strong of a deck, mostly because of the fact that they get hit a ton because they're really, really strong. Like, there is a card in this set called Towers, and Towers is literally so, like, synonymous with Boss Monster that every single card that has, like, an effect of I am unaffected by card effects and I am a Boss Monster is usually just referred to as Towers now. Yeah. And more often than not, if your Boss Monster doesn't do that, that's not even a Boss Monster, so you don't even call it a Towers. But yeah, this set is really cool. It's got a lot of cool stuff, and it's got more stuff for Yang Zings, which I am going to be playing. It's got the starter for Yang Zings, for example. So overall, it also introduces a fusion deck, which we haven't seen in a while, actually. I don't think we've seen a single fusion deck since, like, GX. Like, not a single strategy.
There definitely wasn't a fusion strategy in Duelist Alliance. Smile.
Oh no, ignoring shuttles.
Oh yeah, like, yeah. Apart from that, yeah.
Like ignoring the one thing that literally warps the game around itself.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's one of the more iconic, like, archetypes in the whole game, and one of the best ones to come out of one of the best sets. So I'm like,
big cringe. Shadows, yuck. No, but actually, Shadows are really fucking cool overall, and I think Shadows will be seeing a lot of play in the future. Like I was even considering playing Shadows in this set because I was thinking like I'm gonna play Yangzing Shadows so that I can have access to like all the Shadow fusions. But then I relented, mostly because of the fact that I felt like Shadows can't deal with towers, and I
Yeah.
also felt like that would be kind of boring because we already had a set of Shadows in the previous set. But overall, I think this might be fairly interesting. So let me just get this started by setting 3 and passing.
Yeah, I'm also
Also,
looking. Oh, well, that changed. I was just gonna say my hand also looks very bad, and a single draw changed it from very bad to actually pretty damn good.
if you do scout, that means you have scales.
I did draw exactly scout, which is
Crazy.
funny. But yeah, we'll start by firing off a scout, and
Yep,
is that okay?
that is okay.
Yeah. So then I would like to pay 800 to use the
This
effect.
thing, in combination with Monolith,
We'll
are
take Helix
some
in
of the
hand.
most frustrating cards to play against.
Mm-hmm.
You play Scout, you use its effect, you search Monolith, you set a Metal Foes into scale, you pop Scout, you set Monolith, and or put a Luster Pendulum into scale, and then you end up pendulum summoning Scout and Monolith, and you make a rank 5 machine ones. I
Though
wonder what that
I'm
could.
trying to think, is there a way for me to do this better? I go into this. I go into this. I get this. I guess. Huh. I think this is cooler. So honestly, I think we'll do it just for the sake of actually. Yeah, we'll do it just for the sake of doing that because I think it's cooler. We will scale on our left scale a performer pal trampolines.
Yep,
Then I would like to pendulum summon if that is okay.
that is okay.
And then we will pendulum summon and we will get out a Cleafort Helix. And thinking, yeah, honestly, there is no way for me to not do this, right? Yeah. And a Cleafort Carrier. Then,
Yep,
I would like to use my normal summon, and we will normal summon Performer Pal Trampolinx.
Yep.
Is this okay?
that is okay.
I would like to. Oh yeah, and on the I forgot, but the pendulum summon earlier activates my Trampolinx's effect, with lets me put a card from or a scale rather back into my hand, and I would. Sorry.
Would you rather play Scout and use Scout's effect again, and then
Yeah, because that's
Trampolinx
what I forgot. Because I'd rather do this. I bounce Scout, and since Scout is only a soft once per turn, I would like to bounce Scout, and then I would like to reactivate Scout.
Yep.
So I'll just skip.
That
I
is
won't
okay.
add it to my hand, and then I'll just rescale it. Another 800, and I will go to my deck, and I will get out a. Let's get a tower stand. And then I would like to normal summon the Trampolinx, and we will do the shenanigans all again. I will add Scout to hand. I will rescale Scout. I will pay 800.
Yep.
And we will.
Very balanced card.
It's yeah, but what are once per turn? I mean, it has a once per turn, right? So it's all perfectly fair. And honestly, I guess we'll get a carrier to hand. Actually, the funny thing here, it's Klee cards and not Klee monsters, which is actually pretty disgusting.
I must stress, this archetype is one of the strongest archetypes in the game when it got released.
Yeah,
I must stress.
We'll grab a. Yeah, we'll grab a sacrifice to hand.
Yep. I don't even think that Cliffords had any representation in
like super early on.
Specifically like in Arc V. They don't have anyone playing them in Arc V.
Oh, in the show itself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, oh, okay, I see.
And then we will fire off a laser clip. And then I would like to tribute using my carrier and my helix, which can now be treated as 2, to use my additional normal on Appa Clifford Towers.
Yep.
And now a few things will happen here, since Helix pops a spell trap on being attributed, and Carrier pops a monster on the field, and Sacrifice adds a monster from my deck to hand. So the only target that I have for a monster for you is your thingy, and now I'm thinking, would I rather have trample links to use for myself in case something goes wrong, or would I rather I think I'd rather get rid of your thing, honestly, because it goes in the extra anyway.
I feel like what do you mean goes in the extra? Trampolines.
Actually, no. This always bans hand. I meant like when if trampolines gets popped on the field, then I can still use it. That's still something that's
no, it doesn't.
That's gonna get. Oh yeah, true. It's this was the normal summon one. Yeah, true.
Yeah. I honestly feel like considering tramplings allows you to pretty much set your scales as long as you have it on the field and you have scout in your scale, I feel like it would be a better backup plan to have tramplings in hand. But
and honestly, Towers has hit the field, so I guess, yeah, I think you're right. You convinced me. I will elect to bounce my own tramplings, and then the spell trap pop. I will just let's keep everything but the middle column clear. So I will just elect to pop this with it.
It is Phantom Knight with Shadow Veil. It does nothing.
Okay, cool. It's just one of the, and then Sacrifice adds a Clee monster from my deck to my hand, and you'll never guess which one I'm getting. Just in case, we will grab a Scout.
I have an inkling.
And then I think that's a pretty decent first turn, so we will just go battle phase and we will swing into this thing.
I'm so glad we played so much Commander. Politics are really, really powerful, man.
Yep.
I would like to pop the effect of Unmasked Dragon when it gets destroyed by Banlist into the graveyard.
Yep, that is fun. I have nothing for that.
Okay, I would like to special summon from my deck let me double check. Okay, that works. I would like to special summon Yato, the Darkness of Yang Zing.
Alright, it's a level 2 tuner. You special summon a Yang Zing from your deck. If you're gonna know the ones you can do from your hands for someone.
Okay,
so yeah, it's basically it works as a starter. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it is the starter.
Yeah.
I spent 2 cards and that's
seems pretty good.
Minimum level 8.
Yeah, and it is now minus 500 attack and 1500 defense because of the effect of towers since it got spell summoned. And in my main 2, I mean, it needs to be specifically destroyed, so I will use the effect of towers to make you send something, either a monster from your field or your hand. And I'm guessing you're probably throwing something from hand.
I would like to throw...
this card, by the way, this card does not need this effect. Like it's a 3k beat stick that's basically unaffected by everything. Why does it also every turn minus your opponent?
Yeah,
it's disgusting, bro. Does every card in the Pendulum era just have like triple the amount of text?
Yeah.
I'll just go, but I won't do other stuff. I'll just pass. I'll just read what the card page does, but I have no more effects here. So Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure nothing in the grave that matters there.
Send two special.
Yep.
Yep. Now I would like to special one with 0 attack and one with 0 defense. I would like to summon. Where is it? Any one of these?
Let me make sure, by the way. So the stuff that gets pendulum summoned.
Yeah, actually.
Then when it dies, goes to.
All of these go to extra.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
every single pendulum card bundle that is sent to the graveyard gets sent to the extra deck instead. They do not ever hit the graveyard.
With every even
every single pendulum card. Yes.
Okay, so even the trampolines then would have gone to my extra deck then.
No, that is to your hand. Therefore, it goes to your hand.
No, I was talking about like if it gets destroyed on the field.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, the stuff that specifically puts stuff into your hand, then obviously puts into your hand. But yeah. But yeah, I was confused because I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have some stuff in my extra deck. But I guess like when you tribute it, it doesn't, like Dueling Block doesn't automatically, like when you tribute stuff, put it
I'm
there. So
pretty sure these don't go to the extra deck automatically no matter what we do.
Yeah, so. Woe is me actually having to play the game. But yeah, what would you like to summon with Jatu?
Like to summon a... Oh fuck, this is...
So it summons 2, right? One monster, one Zing with 0 attack, and one Zing with 0 defense. That's a cool effect.
I would like to summon...
I don't remember anything, by the way, of what any of the Zing's synchros do.
This fucking guy.
Yep.
And then I would like to also...
Can it summon itself, by the way? Can it summon? It can't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
Then I would like to summon...
Actually, no, it can. Yeah, you can special Zing in the deck. The destroyed can summon Jato, but you can summon another Jato with the other one. Cool.
Okay.
These cool. Well, these cards look sick.
Then I would like to synchro summon using Giotto and Tatia.
Yep.
For a Yazi, Evil of the Zing.
Yep.
Which has the effect that opponent can't target this card on the field with card effects, and once per turn I can target one Zing monster I control and one card my opponent controls, help those. And if this card gets destroyed by battle card effect, I can special summon one word monster from my deck in defense position.
Cool.
I would like to target my Bixie and your... It doesn't matter.
It's funny because it's the two exactly that I have. Yeah, I think that's the right play.
Yeah, pop both of those. Pop the field spell and Bixie.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
When Bixie gets popped, I get to special summon a Zing from my deck in attack position. Is it in attack position? It is, in fact, in attack position. And then I would like to double check if I have a 9 somehow, which I do not, because I never do have any. God, this would be so much easier if I had access to a PK card that allowed me to actually get a level 3 on board.
Yeah.
Man.
Imagine going Trish here.
Trishula would be really good, but Trish doesn't deal with towers.
Yeah, I mean, not many things do.
Yeah. I mean, I have a card that could deal with towers, but there's a problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't get attacked.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, I'm kind of happy that we get through, like, assuming, like, obviously, like, you could play this, like, later on, but, like, I'm trying to play, like, as many archetypes as possible, and I'm just pretty happy that we get the Towers episode out of the way, like, this fast, so we don't have to see it, because it's not fun to play against.
And I synchro both of these off.
For 8, right? Yeah.
4 and 8. This is the part that I don't really like. I would like to special summon.
It is cool though, like, if you can somehow... Does the deck even have, like, 11s or 12s? Like, is that a thing that you can even go to?
There is a card in this set called the Rock Star.
Oh,
There
yeah,
is a
so you can get
star.
Star Eater. Yo, because I was like
That
thinking,
is-
because like Tower doesn't negate everything. It's only everything that's not Rancor level 11 or 12, which still there are not a lot of cards. So
And like Star Eater doesn't have an effect. Star Eater needs to swing over it.
yeah,
Therefore, Star Eater has 2,700 attack against it. But then again, it also has the effect when synchro summon the cards effects cannot be acted. If this card attacks, it is unaffected by other card effects until the end of the damage step. So it means that it goes back to 3.2.
yeah.
So it can swing over towers in that situation. But
Yeah.
that requires me to get to that.
That is so awkward. But I'm assuming you would like to shuffle both of my scales with Baxi.
I would like to shuffle both of your skills with Baxia, yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I will put both of them to the top of my deck. And then we will not draw, we will shuffle. And we'll do that
then
twice for a good measure.
I would like to activate the effect of Baxia to target one card I control, and one level 4 lower monster in my graveyard, and destroy the target on the field, and special summon one from the graveyard. Would this be okay?
Yes, I have nothing for that.
You have nothing for this. Then I would like to. Do I need to target? Oh, I need to target the one level 4 first before I actually declare this.
Oh yeah, you need to target both.
I need to decide which one I want to get then. If I could just like get this guy out immediately, this would be so nice.
Imagine
Holy
you can
shit.
target one card, you control one anything. But I guess like in a synchro deck, that especially for that time, like that would be insane.
That would be a little nuts. Not gonna lie.
It is cool though that like obviously the first turn where you just set up a couple of cards, part of that like both of our turns, like we've actually gotten to do stuff like the pendulum era is definitely more explosive.
Man, this can only be acted one turn. Oh wait, this thing actually gains attack, right? Let me see.
Which one?
It gains an attack, gains an effect. Where is it? It gained an effect from. No, the other guy gained an effect. The other guy gained position of a synchro monster on the field that used this card. This material cannot be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That is irrelevant.
Yeah, that sounds very important.
Fucking hell. Because I can get Chiwen out here and I can use Chiwen for a 9, but what the I don't have 9s. There are no 9s in this entire set.
Yeah.
I need to get like something very specific out. I wonder if it's going to control a battle against one more monster from your deck. Can't tell this. That's a worm, but actually.
Oh, is it cooking?
I don't think this works.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
You know what?
Who let
I would like to destroy this thing and special summon this guy, and then I would like to go into battle phase and swing into this thing.
Yeah, so you take 2100 because it gets the minus 500. Is it? Yeah, 20.
Oh, so it's 500 more. Yeah, 500 more. Yeah. And then
now you took 3100. It's 21, right?
Oh, it's not 4000.
Yeah, no, it doesn't gain attack unless I have like I think some of the scales boosted stuff. But yeah, it just lowers your spell summon stuff by 500.
Then I would like to
use
the effect to summon from my deck
a level 2 tuner.
Level 2 tuner would be very nice, but again, Star Eater is a level 11.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, this is an 8. I forgot because
unfortunately there are none.
I was just gonna say, do you have level 3 tuners?
There are no level 3 tuners at the moment. So I'm
that would have been so sick if that way like you get that would have been actually so fucking cool.
That would be so nice. But instead I am forced to fucking try to piece together something here that could actually defend myself, I guess.
Bro, this card is so degenerate. Why did they print towers, man?
Bro, you asked me the wrong question.
Konamba, what were you thinking?
What is this card again? This card this is level 4. Like if this fucking thing was a level 4 tuner and I had the other guy on the field, this would be perfect. But unfortunately, that is not the reality we live in.
If I were a zombie, I'd never eat your brain. I was going somewhere else, but the gag that if something, then something, that my dad always said doesn't work in English, so I didn't have a punchline to go into.
Return your opponent's
like POV, you're playing against towers, trying to figure out what the fuck to do.
I think it's already like completely Joar at this point.
It is fun that for the time it's like if it hits the field, then it's like, well, I guess I lose. Smile.
Noticed that Unmasked Dragoness is 1,500 or less defense and not attack, so I couldn't have summoned Giatu.
You know, thought it's whatever at this point.
Fuck it, yeah.
It was 17,000 plays ago, so I don't.
Might as well just summon another one, I guess.
Sure.
I don't have any plays to do with that, so.
Well, I mean, are you just? I think you're just dead, right? Because I scale Trampolinks.
No.
I scale Scout. Use the effect of Scout to grab. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. I guess we'll grab a. We'll just get this guy, I guess. And then declare a Pendulum Summon. And we'll Pendulum Summon out Helix, Carrier, and the disc from my hand.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because you can, you can still.
I'm not dead here. I can.
Because
I'm still fine in the regard that I can fill
I was
up my
thinking
board.
like I can. Actually, is it better? Although, do I want to? I think I bounce with Trampolinks. I think I definitely bounce my Scout.
I mean, it's one more card.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's another towers, but you know.
Oh yeah, that could get us.
You can send both and then it's game.
Oh, yeah, that's actually
that's game.
Actually,
that's
that's
game.
Yeah, because I was literally thinking like, because I can send the dragon so you don't get a summon. I mean, still, I was thinking like I just swing into the other thing and then I make you send the only card you have left. And how are you dealing with that board on the draw? Like probably in no way. But yeah, you're right. I actually, because of the Scout, I just get another towers. So yeah, it was GG's anyway. Oh, what a fun deck, right?
Yeah, I certainly love fighting towers. Isn't it cool how we printed this card before we printed like actual solutions? Funny how that works, guys.
I think it's pretty swag, personally.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do some nasty shit next game.
Oh, I'm excited. Hopefully. So let me pause the recording and actually wait.
Oh, I'm done citing.
Oh, you're already done. Well, in that case, let's just get to it and hopefully you get to do your sick nasty stuff.
My sick nasty game plan. Okay, I set one pass. That's my sick nasty game plan. Didn't draw engine. GG's, guys. GG's.
There is the solemn card that is like, if it's the only set card in your deck, you can do shit with it, which is what I'm actually scared of. But we will scale Scout, because you know we always open the Scout.
Yep.
We will pay 800, and we will go grab a Klee card from our deck, and I think I'll grab Carrier. Then we will We
Do you
will
know
normal summon links.
Yeah.
I will add Scout back to my hand.
Yep.
I don't know why this time I decided to actually do the animation. We'll do the same thing. Rescale Scout. Activate, and we will grab... Honestly, do I just get another carrier? I'll
It's
get
time
another carrier.
to get towers.
And
Oh wait, if you don't have field spell, you can't actually.
yeah, use
I mean, I guess
my
you
normal
can-
on the trampolines, but with the field spell, yes, I can. But I'm genuinely terrified of the thingy.
I think you should be.
So I think I will instead do... I will scale Clifford Carrier.
Yep.
And then I will declare a Pendulum Summon. Is that okay?
Yep. That is
We
okay.
will Pendulum Summon out a Carrier and a Helix.
I'm a double check something.
Yep, go ahead. Oh. If the Solemn card was like, if your opponent would summon monsters. I actually don't remember if that's how it was worded, but if that's how it was worded and that's what you were checking, then that sucks.
Please hold.
Yeah, I'm all good. Not in a hurry in the slightest. Oh yeah, did I? Okay. Just making sure I have my image open already, because to the podcast fans of the History UEL learning journey, we didn't forget what we promised last time, so just making sure. My body's ready. Because if you don't have anything on the swing, like, it's a lot of damage. It's what, 5,400? Yeah, it's 5,400. No, it's 5,700. But if you have the if it negates both of my thingies, then I kind of just fucked my turn. But and I did see what you were capable of last turn, so change you just killing me on the crackback R.
Okay, it works. So I'm scolding.
Okay. So
I was like straight up looking for any kind of proof if this works.
I was literally thinking like the only thing you could be checking is if Scalding works for a Pendulum Summon, but honestly, like them printing it in a Pendulum set and it didn't work would be weird.
I'm gonna have to like I'm gonna let you finish, but the Pendulum Summit monsters never hit the field. Therefore,
Oh, so they go in the gray. Okay.
Yeah, that is also an important note.
Sure. So instead we'll do that.
Sure.
Then we will proceed to the battle phase and swing with trampolines for 300 points of damage.
Yep.
And I think that'll be all she wrote for now.
Alrighty then, I will go standby main, and I will set 3 cards and
Okay. 3 is... I mean, it could be obviously the other Solomon cards, but it's not as scary though. We'll start by putting trampolines to defense. We will declare the effect of Scout.
yeah.
And we will grab 2 hand from deck. Let's just empty out the carriers. We'll just grab a carrier. And I'm so scared. I wonder if I actually... Because that would have been interesting. It's scary, but I'm gonna do it. Normal trampolines.
Go for it.
Rescale scout. You know the drill already. Another 800. And we'll grab a... I'll grab a disc to hand.
Yep.
Actually, do I want disc or do I want... You know what? I think instead... I mean, it's a 50-50. I need to hit both at this point anyway. I'll get laser tower, lace tower. Oh, give me 1 or 2.
1.
Okay, I'll get a laser clip to hand.
Oh,
If I draw into towers, then you know it's on you. And now this is where I would love to overlay for a rank 2 if I had it. But unfortunately, I don't. I don't know. I mean, we definitely had access to numbers, so I'm gonna put a number 2 in here. But unfortunately,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
smart.
there's any worthwhile number rank in the game.
I mean, I don't really use my extra deck, so it would be like, okay, I don't have a 300 body just sitting on the field.
Sure. I mean, it's just a 300 body. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Now I'm thinking though. If it's specifically... No, it would have to be specifically... Yeah, there's nothing I can do here more. We'll go main 2, we'll go end phase. I don't think there's anything else for me to do here. Yeah, I'll just pass. And now this is where you explode me on the crackback.
Dark hole.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing I can do about that. So I will put these back here.
Then I would like to activate Giotto's effect to special summon from my deck a Yang monster. Any Yang monster in this case. Actually.
Except Jatu.
Except Giotto, which is not that bad actually. It's fairly good.
I mean, if it was Jatu, then obviously you could extend more with that. It would be terrifying. So attack.
I mean, that in attack, which I'm checking what I have in my extra right now to see if I want to do some plays.
Sure.
This doesn't do anything.
Worry about the extra deck plays. It's like it's towers or bust, baby. It's towers or bust.
Oh.
Did you have Dark Hole in the set, or
it is from a card in the set?
Okay, gotcha. I mean, Dark and Hole are not exactly very rare.
From Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon.
Oh yeah, bro. I love that card. I think
that card, like, that card actually is what made my deck. My deck is built in the way that it is, my side deck especially, because I realized this card is in the set. And I was like, that's it. That's the silver bullet. This thing is it.
The first time I ever built a deck IRL, I know I've told you this, but I don't know if I've said it on camera. The first time I ever built a deck IRL was the Legendary Hero decks that were like Aesir, Nordic Aesirs, and then Heroes, and then Phantom Knights. Like it was like 3 basically structure decks in there. And the first deck I ever built was the Phantom deck, and I was thinking in my head like for multiple days like ways to get like Dark Rebellion and then like Dark Requiem on the board, and it was the coolest shit to me ever.
I mean, it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It is sick.
Fuck. This is actually kind of tough. I can reasonably only really go for either a 7 or a 6.
I
can also go for a 4, which
don't
should be
think
too
you can kill me without like having Jato on the field to extend with that, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't go Jato into Jato anyhow because I need to have no cards on the board to
Yeah,
use
I know,
Jato.
because like that's
So-
why I was like the Jato getting popped like that is what
Man.
I think saves my life here.
Yeah, to do it like this so that I could actually do a play. Otherwise, I had no play, and I was sitting here for a bit.
That's fair.
And I need something to kind of turn things around for a moment. We'll see how this ends up actually panning out. I mean, this card is kind of good.
I mean, I
Allows
got
me
no
to do
back row,
so.
so you're free to do whatever you want. We don't have hand
Yeah.
traps yet.
I think I will just.
Imagine
summon
I had
out.
Ash here.
That man, man.
This game, this is gonna become a whole different game when we get access to Ash.
It most definitely will. I'll just summon out here, Shadow of the Yangzing.
Yep.
And I would like to then. The worst part about this is that the other guy that I have isn't that good, because he doesn't exactly enable me to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of a massive weakness of the deck.
Are the only tuners in the synchro deck? Are they all twos? Actually, no. There's the one as well.
One.
The
Yeah, there's Chiwen and Giotto. They're both
yeah,
two.
the
There's 2
golden
on 1.
thingy.
Yeah, I would like to then synchro these off for a 7.
Yep.
And I will be summoning out a Azi, Evil of the Yang Zing. And then I would like to swing for 2.6k.
I will take 26.
Now, see, this would be sick. If this thing was a quick effect, and I
Oh,
could pop it
the
now,
popping stuff.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I could end it right here if I had an access to Tatia.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. It's in defense position anyhow. So it doesn't even come out. Doesn't even work. Man,
Oh, yeah,
that
true,
is
true.
unfortunate. Now let's go to see. Yeah,
And you still have a like decent board.
Yeah, I'll just actually.
I was just gonna say, do you want to use the effect?
Did you add Scout at any point? I don't remember.
I added. Have you said twice? No, I added a carrier both times, right?
Oh, and you added the field spell as well.
Oh yeah. I used it once, which was carrier. Then I used it and bounced it, and used it, so it was carry. And yeah, the laser clip and 2 carriers is what I've added with Scout.
Then I think reasonably I should pop the Scout here and kill the Scout
Right.
and then summon out a
Worm.
Yang Zing.
No, it's a
worm?
worm.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
worm.
it doesn't even have to be a Yangzing. You can summon any worm.
I mean, that's.
I guess that
pretty
means like
good.
for at that time, like there's like still weren't like that many like crazy worms. Imagine
This
like
is-
you get
worms
like
came out last set.
oh yeah.
They're new.
'Cause-
Yangzings are the first worm archetype.
Oh well, that explains things. So imagine you get something like not true King of all calamities, but some of the like calamity aligned monsters. I think they're all worms, and some of them have like crazy shit they can do. Sure, my god, send okay. You can spell some attack. Okay, you can use but then during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately okay. Cool.
So the idea with the deck is to basically destroy your own cards and then summon out them during your. You keep them leave on the field, leave them on the field for your opponent's turn. Then you reactively research what your opponent is doing. But it doesn't work in this matchup because of the fact that you're playing a deck that
Yeah.
ends on a thing that doesn't care.
Also, you know what is pretty cool and funny?
Top decking down or having Scout in hand beforehand. Either or.
I would like to activate the Scout. And this is where you MST my Scout. I would like to use the effect.
Yep.
Okay. Thank God. Now what do I get here? I think it doesn't really matter too much. I guess we'll grab a... Because... Yeah, we'll grab a Helix.
Yep.
Then we'll fire off a laser clip. Is that okay?
That is okay.
Then. Does this matter at all? I don't think so. So, sure. I would like to pendulum summon.
Yeah.
So, declaring a pendulum summon, and we will get out a scout, a carrier, and a helix.
And to that I say no.
Yep. What happens to these that came from the extra deck now, by the way?
That I actually am not entirely sure, but I would imagine that the same rule applies to them as it does from the hand. Because they hit the board, but then they kind of just float out into nothing. It's like if you discarded a pendulum card, effectively.
Let me check, because like my brain like logically would say that the opposite actually happens in maybe I'm thinking like the thing, like you know how like you synchro summon something, then you can monster reborn it back, but then when it's monster reborn, if it dies again you can no longer monster reborn it because last time it was summoned it wasn't properly summoned. So maybe that's like my brain thinking about it, but let me just make sure. When do you pendulum? Because I'm actually not sure. If you negate the pendulum on the monster destroyed, they're sent to the graveyard, not the extra deck. Is there anything after they've been? Because that's the thing that I'm curious about.
Because I think they are treated as like similar entities, as in they're not on the board, but they're on the board, and that's why they're different from like you're effectively reacting to them being placed on the board, but before they're on it. So they're the place where they're coming from doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess
it's like
that
the same
makes
as
sense.
if they came from the deck or banish or anywhere else.
Let me check this. If I can find anything, then we can. Okay, they're perfect. Pendulum monster card always goes to the graveyard unless it would be sent there from the field. Remember, there's someone like this and then blah blah blah. Yeah, so okay, it doesn't matter like if they've been to the extra deck or not. They still go to the grave. That's good to know. Because to me, like my brain wanted to think of them like the same way as the what's his face.
Nomi monsters.
Yeah, the like fusions or like synchros. Now the question is, okay, you have one card in your hand. This is not a tutor, so even if that's a trap. I mean, most likely. Because that doesn't make sense though. Now my thing here is. I mean, you just get that kills. I mean, if you just get another Dark Hole, like Tatia kills me, but I I'm just mostly thinking here. No, basically any monster kills me. No, I think I need to still do this. I haven't normal summoned yet, so I will use my normal summon on disc.
You also have a second normal summon. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
I know. But if I had that, then wouldn't matter. But I will do this to make it easier. Oh wait, it's 21 because of carrier.
Correct.
And then there you go. Because I was thinking like maybe if I like draw into stuff, like maybe I can do something next turn, but like the chances of you not killing me for 1400 are very low, even with 2 cards.
Does it work? Wait. No, that's for all you control. This would not gain more from this. Wait, no. Oh, wait, yeah. Oh. That is unfortunate.
And we got ourselves a game, huh?
Wait, I need to check something.
Go ahead. I feel like this is gonna be a trend, especially like for me when you're playing the Pendulum Era.
This is the one thing that I did not check about this card because I forgot to.
That's all good. All good. All good.
No, I'm gonna. Right? Would you agree?
I don't know what I'm agreeing to.
That it's been fairly interesting overall. Like this.
Oh
is,
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like it's been like as interesting as a matchup where one person is playing towers could be.
Yeah. I'm gonna now activate this. I'm gonna target that.
I'm just glad that
Does not
the
work.
like set with towers and where I decided to play that also had access to the solemn cards, because imagine without those, like how obnoxious it would have been.
Be over ages ago at this point. This would be horrible, man. Fuck.
Because at least now it's like, okay, like the solemns deal with it, but okay, if I have the clip, then they don't deal with it, but you can still solemn the pendulums, which still like slows it down. So if you swing into my thing, go to 250 and that way kill me, I will put on a hat just so I can take off my hat for you.
So let me think. This is a 1,000. I take 2.1 from that. This is a level 3. I get a 2 out of that. Can I do anything with that too? No, because it's not my during my battle phase, it's during your battle phase specifically. Can I deal with anything on your board next turn if I do that? Can I get that somehow? No, I can't get. That is impossible. That would be fucking nonsense. Holy shit. Well, I'm gonna go battle phase.
Oh?
I'm gonna attack into this. Gonna take 2.1 thousand.
Yep.
This gets destroyed by battle. I get to summon a Yang Zing from my deck. I summon out a Taotia and I swing over this thing with Taotia.
Yep. I take a Hondo.
Then I that goes extra.
Oh yeah, sorry. I put it accidentally there. You're right.
Then I set another card and I pass.
All right. Okay. There is one card in my deck that I really would like to draw now. Actually, there are technically 3, but I would like to draw that card now. That is not the card I would like to draw. Now this is where it gets so interesting. I'm activating the effect of Scout.
Go for it.
I don't think we ever had a game where both of us are at this low.
No, we never have.
And I'm still have targets, so that's swag.
Oh, bro's got Cleese in his Clee deck in the main deck. Like, oh my.
There are only like I think 5 Clee names that came out, so you know, it's not exactly a given. I will grab a shell to hand.
Yep.
If that's a judgment. Is there anything? Ay. No, it doesn't make sense. I think it is what must be done. I would like to declare a pendulum summon.
Go ahead.
And I would like to summon out a disc from my extra deck and a shell from my hand. Is that okay?
No.
You know what? That does make sense.
Yep.
Ready down?
Yep. Man, I was so scared you were gonna blind fire an MST.
The card that I was like, I would like to draw from my deck was MST, because like I would have just, if I drew MST, I would have just obviously shot that. Well, I need to do this, or else I'm dead. So I would like to normal summon a Cleave or disc. Once again, becomes 1800.
Gains 300.
Sorry, yeah. Last time I marked it. I didn't even know why I marked it, because I guess it would have been printed. Now the question is, I mean, any monster that isn't 0 attack just kills me. Do your worst.
So I didn't want to play this card this way. But I'm going to normal summon from my hand. Neospatian Dark Panther. Neospatian Dark Panther has the effect of once per turn I can target one face-up monster my opponent controls, and until the end phase, this card's name becomes the monster's original name. It does not count as me affecting the card. Also, replace this effect with that monster's original effect. Now, Towers' effect is not a monster effect, it is a play effect. I target you, and you send a monster to the graveyard. Therefore, Dark Panther circumvents Towers' protection.
That is true, because you're affecting the player, not the there. But yeah, that is going to be enough for a game. So
This
let's
is a
go.
card.
This is it's a card that works in that scenarios for sure.
It's also specifically with the Solemns and everything else, because they exhaust you from the cards that you have in your hand. Because you'll either end up with the cards in the extra deck through Dark Holes, or end up in a situation where like you just can't send a card from your hand to the graveyard. That's why Scout is really rough against this.
Yeah.
Because Scout can forever permanently a card to prevent me from doing this. And that's why I didn't want to show this, but I wanted to explain it because I might not get a chance to do it again.
That's fair. Also, was that the only monster that you had?
I had another card in my hand and I just drew it, and that was a 0 attack monster.
Okay,
but
yeah,
the card
so
that
it
I
was
had in my
also
hand
your
before,
only way of
Yeah.
winning there.
but that was the card that I had in my hand the whole time.
Yeah,
I was
gotcha.
thinking about using that for synchro plays. So
I gotcha. But hey, like now we've had one game where it's just like, okay, towers hits the field, nothing to deal with it, and then 3 solemns and towers never hits the field.
yeah, but it's kind of a shame that it went down that way because like man.
Well, this is not what I want to have in my hand. I'm not going to lie. Shit. Honestly? Actually, I genuinely think this is my best play. I will just pass.
Normal summon.
How opening scout versus not opening scout
Yeah.
affects
Sweet.
an MFer.
Set 3 pass.
Oh my god, it literally couldn't be worse. Sure. I would like to give your Swanee a bamboo sword.
Yeah.
And then I would like to fire off golden bamboo sword. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah, why not? That's dedication.
It is.
I will not hesitate to allow you to do this.
Mad. It's rough out here, huh? I would like to scale a helix. And I would like to scale a carrier.
Okay.
And then I would like to declare a Pendulum Summon. Is that okay?
That
If I'm getting out a disc and that's all.
is all?
Yeah, I figured like we need to get through these solemns at some point anyway. So it's like either I actually get something on board or at least we get rid of one of those. So I'm fine with that. I'll set a card and we will pass. Also, I don't know if my intention was to say it. I don't remember if I said it, but I was meaning to say at the start of the episode that usually we have structure decks or whatever to be picked by the loser to sort of help them. But this time, whoever loses has to go first in our 3x3 podcast segment.
Okay.
That's
I was about to be like, wait, hold up. Hero Strike isn't next, right?
No. It's still a few episodes ago.
I feel like I'm sitting here like, hell yeah, Finna may win this matchup. That is kind of surprising.
I mean, I don't know if it's surprising because it's literally just like, do I get my thing or do you get yours? It's basically the same.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think it might be over. I mean, I'll set another card and go for it.
Standby main. That's not worth it. But it's just not worth playing. I would go and swing for 1.9 again.
We're just playing Vanilla Yu-Gi-Oh.
Set one, and actually, do I even? I don't even need to fucking set this.
Well, you didn't have to. Oh yeah, you're. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I was
don't
gonna
even
say
need to
like
set
you
that.
don't need to reveal it, but
It needs to be face to be used for synchro.
yeah. I was like, if you just want to have it in your hand and just continue poking me, then I would like you don't need. But yeah, if you're actually.
It's
using it
specifically for
synchros, then
like possible synchro play.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, I'll go a little bit of more of a plan.
when did I scale Helix?
The first time you scaled something here.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to have 600 more life because the two last ones. Yeah. Probably like Dark Hole.
Yeah, I'll pop Dark Hole on my Suwani.
So it gets that, and then
This also breaks.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I get a bamboo sword from my
deck to your hand.
I'll just get another cursed bamboo sword.
Yeah, that is not a bad idea. Then I will summon in defense position Giotto. And then
and I unfortunately I think this would destroy me, so I do need to solemnly have a judgment for my judgment.
I in fact have a judgment warning for your warning.
Warning for that, yeah. So I'm gonna be 1450 and probably dead.
And then because I think I will also want to make sure that is not another warning or judgment or anything, I will MST this. Okay. And then send to special to summon Giotto and summon a... Can I wait, could I have ended if I did this in the right order?
You did it in your main one, you mean?
Yeah, if I did it in my main one, it doesn't matter.
I mean, if you did it in your main one, then probably.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But I mean, obviously, no, those could have no. But I mean, I would have fired off the MST on the like. Well, I don't know obviously which. I probably would have just flipped and dice. But like, if you didn't like in response, then fire it into my judgment, then I guess that could have maybe done something, because obviously like I was fine with saving my stuff for later because like there's no threat of a battle phase for the rest of the turn. So
yeah, there's also the main thing here, which is I basically, if I do this in main phase 1 and you flip all of your stuff, you like flip MST in response to me summoning something, or you flip Solemn in response to something, I can always warning the Solemn if you do it second. And if nothing else, I can then flip the MST to target, for example, the Solemn itself, and then you can only Solemn like the MST.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I don't think it matters, because I'm trying to think like, is there literally any draw in my deck that doesn't kill me? And I don't think so. If I draw that, I get, let's say those. I go, actually, yeah, no, it doesn't even matter because I don't have enough life points. Yeah, actually, does that help me?
Do I just keep playing, or?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm literally just thinking out loud. Sorry. I obviously have no effects here, so.
Then I would like to activate the effect of Yazi, targeting. Does it matter? I mean, this is a level 2. It summons out a level 1. I can get a Bakshia out of that, but I don't actually know if I want to do that then. Wait. It's only a card. Okay, that doesn't even work. This has to be in attack or defense. If it has to be in attack or defense, then I think it might be better if I summon out something else in target. Let me see. Doesn't matter. Does not matter, in fact. This gets banished. Right? Banished, I'm doing that. Oh.
Yeah, okay, there are literally 0 draws in my deck that do the same.
Yeah, I think I'll just end it here just in case, but that's unfortunate.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what your hand is, but
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best thing I could have drawn, but it doesn't matter, because you can't scale when you have a scale set already,
No.
right? Yeah.
no.
So
That is why I didn't activate.
yeah, the only
Yaz.
thing, because I literally I was thinking like I mean I can put this on the board, I guess. Is it actually, is that my best play? Because I draw that, I add to my hand. Like, what would be the best things would be like, and that. I fire off that, I fire off this. With my 1, I get this. Fire off that, I don't have a way to get into those in any way, anyway. Is there? Yeah, no. I mean, oh yeah, this doesn't even have that. Yeah, okay, then it doesn't matter. So then there's literally only one thing I can do. So normal trampolines, I'll just see, but I don't think there's anything I can do, because then that adds Helix back to hand. So then I can scale Scout. I can pay 800 for Scout, but then Scout needs to specifically add.
Hockey card.
Actually, yeah, because I had a field spell, I get that, it doesn't matter. So yeah, there's actually only one thing I can add here, which is going to be a carrier. Then synchro summon using synchro summon. I pendulum summon and using my Helix and carrier, which I get out, then
2.1, 2.1.
Yeah, they're both 27, and yours is still 26, so they're 100 bigger. But the problem is the worm here.
Wait, no, they're not. They're 2.1, because when you special summon them, they become level 4s, and their original attacks become 1.8.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, but then it doesn't matter, because then it's the initial thing that I was going for. Oh, it doesn't even work. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay, yeah, I can't even do the thing. Yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna end my turn there. There's nothing more I can do. I was going for like I would have overlaid these two for this thing, but the scales prevent me from doing that. So
yeah, that is like the most annoying part. Should I play the turn in a way where I assume you have something for this, or should I just swing into the cat?
I mean, is there anything? There aren't any hand traps in the set, right?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, so you can do this, and it just does. But yeah, I mean, it was literally a matchup of, do you get your Solemns first, or do I get, because it's basically you have 9 copies of Solemns, I have 3 copies of Scouts, which I need to basically get anything started. So I guess like the odds were still like stacked up against me when it came to that. But obviously, like if Towers hits the field, then assuming I have anything in my hand, then like it still lives through the Panther. But it wasn't as bad, because like if you think about it, like basically a fourth of your deck, like just stopping me from doing anything, is still pretty good. And the problem with the early Cleese and having such few names, and which is why I also ran the Bamboo Sword engine, was because this deck does nothing unless I get Scout, or I need to like specifically open like the towers sacrifice. Actually, yeah, never mind. I always need scout. Yeah, I can't do anything without scout. So it's basically like I have 3 of a card that I need to do anything, and you have a 9 of a card that stops me from playing the game. So
I did not look into it in this set, but Summoner's Art is one of the best cards to play in any kind of Klee deck, any kind of Metalfoes deck as well. It's because it allows you to search for any level 5 or higher normal monster from your deck.
Yeah,
so it means
Scout
it
is
doubles the copies of Scout.
Yeah, but
it's that's degenerate. Like that itself is like, holy shit, this card is ass. But because of
but it's like because
card.
you need it, because there's like it's your one thing that gets you going, and that's like the one thing that I feel like is why like Lee right off the bat like didn't do much, because it's still like innately, obviously you have more stuff when it's not as limited of a format, but it's still pretty bricky. But obviously like stuff like that already helps a ton when you can like go from effectively 3 copies to 6 copies. But well, game 1 I opened my scouts, and then game 2, like from turn 1 immediately you had the Solomon set, so nothing we could do there. But
I feel like the saddest part is honestly the fact that I did not really have much payoff for game 2. Like I couldn't really do much in game 2.
Yeah, I mean it was just like just flip a Solomon on every pendulum, and that's it. But I mean that's probably why honestly the Solomons are in here, because like without them, like obviously Klee would have just been still a bricky but basically unstoppable. So
the Klee player can play the Solomons as well.
Yeah, and I mean I definitely was. I said it out of the scolding, but I had 3 warning and 3 judgment.
Yeah, the main reason why I kept the scoldings in is because, well,
you need as many of them as just possible, and it's like if the only thing you're setting are the solemns anyway, then it doesn't matter. Like you set a judgment, you set a scolding, okay, you fire off the judgment on the first thing, and then at that point you have 1 set, so then you can use it for whatever comes next. So like for you it's obviously very good. It's just for me, I sometimes would have wanted to like set my MSDs, and also like you didn't have the like obviously same explosiveness and not like obviously playing a pendulum deck, so I didn't like need them as bad as it was basically just an arms race to see like, do you get your solemns first or do I get my towers first?
Yeah, I think that's kinda how it crumbles later on, like where you start getting decks that just play Scout, because the fact that Scout is good with Monolith. Monolith and Scout basically allow you to set up your scales immediately. And then there's also the fact that like you can pop both of them using effects like Metalfoes have, and then you can end up with a Nova, and Nova becomes an Infinity. So instead of playing Klee as a Klee deck where you put out like turbo out towers, you simply play Klee as an engine where you turbo out an Omni Negate.
Yep.
That is oppressive as fuck.
I initially wasn't even gonna play Klee here, but like then when I looked at the future sets, I was like, if I'm ever gonna play Klee here, I guess it would be this, but like I would have been like fine not seeing it at all. But when I saw the set have the bamboo sword engine and also like trample links, which like obviously immediately it's like, oh, use your normal and use Scout multiple times. It was like, okay, I think there are enough things aligning here that even with like just having the few Klee names, like we can maybe do something here. And I obviously like when I was doing that, like I wasn't thinking like, oh, it's also like nice to play Klee out of the way here with Solemns in here. It was just a lucky coincidence that we also had Solemns in the set, because I don't think it would have been very interesting to like have Klee in a episode where there was like no negation whatsoever. It's basically just like, okay, can I kill him before he gets to towers? Let's find out. So it's, and like overall, like apart from like you said, like a bit of a dud game 2, which was mostly just like okay, I tried to do okay Solomon, okay I try okay Solomon. Apart from that, like I feel like both of our decks like still got to do a lot. Like I got towers like pretty efficiently on board, like from like on turn 1 on the first game, and like you had multiple turns with like the really explosive Yangzing plays. So I think that was neat. Darkness gives you a lot.
Yeah, darkness is like dark itself. Like that's the thing that I was going for, because like if I had just this and just this, I basically already had a full deck.
Yeah, but I mean,
got Gorse.
but that's
For
the like neat thing, because it's like Jiao giving you darkness, because obviously darkness and dark, like I think we established it, like obviously it needs to be exactly that. Then if there are like hyphens or if there are no spaces in between, it's different. Like, so everything with darkness doesn't give you dark, because obviously that would get really bad with some things later on. And then there is always like that would also open the can of worms where it's like, well, towers has TO in it, so everything that has TO in its name is now available. So that's why we decided to, like, it's easier to be consistent that way, and there are no like stuff like that, but like that also give in darkness, and then there be like Exis Dragon that gives you dark is pretty neat, because dark is not only the strongest attribute in the history Yu-Gi-Oh, it's also there's a lot of stuff that has dark or darkness in its name, because it's pretty generally applicable to a lot of things. It would have been sick if you just dropped Gorse.
Dude, I was so excited about the prospect of dropping Gorse that I played 3 of him in my side deck.
Oh,
Like
hell yeah. I mean, Gorse is a banger.
I completely gave up. Yeah. I completely gave up my side deck just to have access to Gorse and Dark Armed and Dark Panther. Like, I only played one copy of Dark Armed and Gorse in the last 2 games, because I felt like, well, I don't wanna force it, and also put Dark Holes in the side deck, because I felt like I can possibly win game 1 without these, but then game 2 onwards, I can at least like have a comfortable way of enabling my own plays while also possibly dealing with your board. And then Gorse, of course, I just wanted to put Gorse in. Like, even if Gorse is completely useless. Yeah, we've been talking about Gorse and how it literally like shapes the way people attack. Like, what order people always attack in when they've played Yu-Gi-Oh for long enough.
Yeah.
But we've never got to play Gorse.
But well, definitely, like we said, like we are not obviously off, like those obvious don't apply, because otherwise this would be a mess of a series. But like, obviously, like we said, like a lot of stuff has darkness in it, so we'll definitely see that stuff in the future. I will check. You can go ahead and grab your image. Obviously, like I said, like I'll show mine first since I took the L. But I will just simply check what we have next week. And next week we have Secret Eternities as well as Astral Pack 6. So that is going to be what we are working with next time.
It's a banger set, guys.
It is a banger. I mean, I feel like we have a lot of bangers to look forward to, because just like the overall like power has just jumped up really, really high. So but it's already been an hour 20, and I think we said last time that we'll try to have the pod segments in episodes that are shorter. But since this is something that we both actually prep for and we already talked about, I feel like it would be ingenious to not have it. So we'll just try to keep it brief, like let's say like 5 to 10 minutes per person, and we'll just go like that. But if you were here for Yu-Gi-Oh, once again, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time for Secret Eternities. And now I will help my case in the future, and I will put a stamp here, so I know that the pod segment starts around here. But oh yeah, let me share my screen, because that'll make things a lot easier. Streamer brain thinking like, oh, of course you see what I'm doing here. And so initially I had there we go. Initially I had names on these, but I figured that it would be a lot more fun to see what Jeexx knows. And obviously, I gotta be greedy. I did cheat a little bit on my 3x3. One of the spaces actually has 3 different ones in there, but
Bro, what the fuck?
I'll give the story about those, and I had to throw a couple honorable mentions in there. But of the 3x3, which is I guess now 3 by 311.
Non-Euclidean 3x3.
Yes. Do you know? Definitely know some of these, right?
I think middle one is man with the mission.
Yes.
And I think the one on the right of that is back on. I'm not entirely sure, but they have a similar vibe.
Similar vibe. It's one OK Rock. I do also really like Back On.
Yeah, okay. And then the top middle one, that's Baby Metal.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Other than that, I have no idea.
All right. So
no clue.
Oh, okay. First, let me ask you: did your like placement on your grid, like, did you think of that at all? Like the middle one is the absolute favorite, or anything like that? Because mine, it's literally this is my longest lasting favorite band on the list. But apart from that, and none of these like it don't get too much into the placement.
My in my 3x3, I thought to myself, wow, who would I like put on this? Well, I think this guy goes on here, and I think this guy goes on here. This guy definitely goes on here. She goes on here. Yeah, he goes on here, and that was all I thought. And then I got to the like 8th and 9th, I was like, bro, I got nothing but Japanese people on here. What the hell? Well, do I only listen to Japanese music? Well, let me just fix that real quick. Let me put some representation as the DEI enforces, you know?
I mean, that was me for a long time, but let me go like from top left. So Simon Vieklund, most notably most notably for me, did the soundtrack for Payday and Payday 2. Like, I was also considering Mick Gordon, like, for a similar vibe. Like, as we go, like, I'll also explain, because obviously, like, this is basically, it's not my absolute favorites. I thoroughly like all of these, but it's like mostly like, okay, show your music taste like this. So this is basically like, I like listening to game soundtracks a lot, and the other person I was thinking of here was Mick Gordon, obviously Doom and Killer Instinct, 2 absolutely banger soundtracks, but Simon Vieklund for me is like the GOAT when it comes to making game soundtracks. Then, like you said, Baby Metal, I don't know how to explain this. It's metal, yes, but it's like, it's so different, but it's such fun and catchy music. And then here we have Jeff Williams and Casey Lee Williams. They done, I don't know, like, I think like Jeff stepped away a little while ago. I don't know how long it's been now, because I haven't followed Ruby for a long time, but they did like basically all the songs for Rooster Teeth's Ruby. Absolute bangers, like all the openings, the whole OST, like everything I've listened to, absolute fucking bangers. So these 2 are here because of that. I'm surprised you didn't catch this. This is Ado. Or Ado?
Oh,
would it be Ado?
That's not the icon I recognize.
I literally tried to, like, whenever most of these, like, I grabbed the spot, like, this is literally her, like, Spotify. Like, when you find Ado on Spotify, like, this is the picture that you get on there. I listen to music through YouTube myself, but I figured, like, okay, I mean, then I guess that's the most iconic representation about that. But yeah, Ado, obviously, I don't know what else to say about that band. Just absolute banger music. Probably my Usewa, absolute banger, but I think my favorite performances of her come from the One Piece movie Red. Like, that has like multiple absolutely banger songs. Man with a Mission, my longest lasting like favorite band. Like, ever since basically I started watching anime, I've heard the first song from them. Like,
Database.
I think it was Database, actually. It was either
Database
I think was the first one, and then like Raise Your Flag was the first like Iron Blooded Orphans season. I think it's season 1 opening. Was the first one that was for me like, yo, this shit is insanely good. But basically, you can't find a bad song from them. One OK Rock, Vandalize, and Prove, probably, if I had to highlight some songs. But just, you know, just this like Japanese rock, but Japanese. I guess they have both like
J-rock.
Japanese and English lyrics in a lot of them, so it
think-
isn't really like one or the other, but yep.
It's easier to classify it as J-rock, just like how K-pop can
Yeah, true.
contain English lyrics to it, but it's still considered K-pop rather than.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really bad when it comes to like music genres. I basically always say like to me there are 5 music genres, which are pop. Do I remember them still? It's pop, rock. No, it's pop, Guitar Hero, old people, computers, and I don't remember what the 5th one is. Actually, you know what? I definitely have it somewhere. I'm gonna dig it up when you explain yours. But I remember I had this categorization of 5 music genres, and that's where everything goes. And I can, without fail, like you give me any genre, I can tell you where it goes on that. But yeah, this was initially more Calliope, but then I realized, because I wanted to be like, okay, covers, I guess. And then I was thinking like, okay, whose covers have I listened to in like the past like year or something the most? And like initially I was like, okay, I also like some of Moore's other music, but then I was thinking like, if I'm using this to represent actual like covers, then it's like, yeah, I've definitely listened to Kiara's music the most. But it's Takanashi Kiara from Hololive. Lots of bangers. Four Blood is a banger. Sparks is good. Hinotori, absolute banger. Lots of bangers there. Ava Max, it's pretty generic. It just like super generic pop. I'm a big pop fan. It just, all of her like songs just like make you dance. I'm a fan. And then this, and my reasoning for it there being 3 here. This is the Nightcore corner. These are bands that, depending on the day, like, it could be any of these 3. So it's Fall Out Boy, Set It Off, and Within Temptation. Within Temptation is like, it's literally just, it's Nightwish, essentially. It's just
Like,
not super like
honestly,
Nightwish. Yeah?
If I didn't have a clear image of what like the band members of Nightwish look like, I would have said that is Nightwish.
I don't blame you. Their music style is also very similar. And then like these are more like, I get it would be like punk rock pop, like something along those lines, but Fall Out Boy and Set It Off. And like I said, like depending on the day you ask me if I had to give you 9, like this lot could be any of these 3. But I was like, I've been listening to Nightcore, like I get faces when I like, now I feel like listening to Nightcore. I've been like doing that for a long time. And I feel like the first 3 artists that I feel like I literally discovered through, well, okay, not Fall Out Boy, but initially listened to through Nightcore like more than their actual music, and then later went to, okay, wait, their actual music slaps too. It's these 3, and that's why they are all here. So this is the Nightcore corner. And then just like honorable mentions, because like Edge of Life, like One OK Rock, I feel like is very similar and suits the same like sort of niche in this one, but I absolutely also love their music. And then Ghost pretty recently, and it's there for metal, but I don't listen to metal that often, so Baby Metal like covers that enough to the point where it's like, okay, these can be honorable mentions.
I have no idea who these last 2 bands are at all, and the other one looks very very distinct.
Oh, Ghost.
Yeah, and the other one looks like, yes, this is Flow, but they were
it's
born in
very
the
similar.
2010s.
They have done a lot of like anime open. I think like my favorite. I also really like Flow. That was another one that I was considering for the slot here. But like my favorite is probably Just Fly Away, which is the second opening to the season 2 of Gundam Build Fighters Try. Banger openings. But yeah,
openings back on.
These people, the first time I heard of Ghost was their song Square Hammer, which my friend sold to me like just a heads up, they hail Satan a lot, and they really like the devil. So that's how it was sold to me when I was in 5th grade, I think. I wasn't into their music for a long time, though. It's much more recent. But yeah, that is it for me. I think I said like 5 to 10 minutes max per person, and I think it took me exactly 10. So
Rose kind of speedrunning. I gotta say,
don't
this
worry
is
about it.
very varied. There's a lot of people here. You can see many people on these images.
Yeah.
Human beings, if you will.
Let me
It is
grab.
quite impressive.
Thank you. And let me grab yours over here. So,
I think
oh
it'll be
my
easier for
god.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you
All right.
recognize any of these?
So
One of
this
them at least.
this is Jeexx, and
Any questions?
okay. So this is your profile picture on
On
Twitch.
Steam.
That's all I
Which
know
one?
about it. This looks like
No. The middle one isn't my profile picture on Twitch. It's my Steam profile picture.
oh no, it's on Steam. Yeah, I was like, this is your profile picture somewhere. This just looks like a noun or something. This looks like something when I was talking about Nightcore. Like this is exactly the sort of picture that you find on a YouTube video about a Nightcore Linkin Park song in 2010.
I can't tell which ones you're looking at or talking about, but I can imagine that it's
Oh
the
wait,
middle
yeah.
left
Let
one.
me.
Middle left one is the one that you just
Yeah.
described.
Let me. I forgot since I did this. Let me do this so you can see because I'm pointing to. So obviously the video can see, but I forgot. Like obviously you couldn't. But yeah, this one exactly.
Yeah, that
And
one.
then there is fucking Quagsire from Pokemon.
Ah.
But yeah, I don't know any of these.
Okay, so first off, we're gonna start off describing the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy
Oh.
14 with a free trial that lasts up until the second expansion Stormblood up to level 70. He is the composer for Final Fantasy 14,
That
Masayoshi
makes
Soken.
a lot of sense. I know the
is-
twinning.
Yeah, he did that. He did it, and he danced that shit on stage with his band members.
gotta respect it.
does most of it. Yeah, he was
This-
diagnosed with cancer in around like 2010. Not 2010. Like at
Oh,
least
jeez.
he was going through like treatment in 2019, 2020, and he like composed one of the best tracks in the entire game while he was sick in the hospital, undergoing cancer treatment. Soken is a badass in many senses of the word. He also likes memeing a ton, so he once upon a time
have heard of.
took an automaton, which is the thing that he has in his hand. If you remember, Spazzy had one of those. It's the fucking thing that squeals when you like.
Yeah, I
run your-
love the sound it does, but also I think they're called Spoozy now because you know
sorry.
Spaz
Yeah, true,
is
true.
something.
My bad.
So that's
Yeah.
that's why they wanted to rebrand. But yeah, it's
yeah.
all good.
But yeah, he brought this on stage to a serious concert, and he just started like belting out a song in the most like ear-piercing way possible, while also using the automaton as backing for it. And
That's
the pianist who was there to play it with him was just confused as hell. It was very cool. Soken is a cool guy.
I'll give it up.
Yeah. Then
Also-
the second person.
Oh, before you go that, I found it. I did remember. So my 5 categories of music, I literally just forgot rap. It is pop, rap, guitar hero, computers, and old people.
That's why. I mean, yes,
It's
I-
waterproof. You can anything. It goes on the spectrum. But yeah, sorry
Goes
to
on
cut you off.
Yep. No problem. But I would highly recommend listening to just like stuff from FF14, FF16. Soken is a badass. He does some good music.
Twinning is a banger, and you linked me a lot of his songs. Like I've never been like, oh yeah, this is ass. So I'll give it up.
Yeah. And the second guy is Wada Koji. And this name should be familiar to you. He has
I don't think so. But then again, my name memory is terrible.
I have not heard many songs from him, but he is specifically here for one song that I can immediately recall, or two. Those are Butterfly and Braveheart. From Digimon.
Gotcha. All right, I'll give it up. I was gonna say, is this Japanese Frank Sinatra? But
Unfortunately, not. But yeah,
okay.
he sung Butterfly for Adventure, and of course, he passed away sometime after, and eventually his son reprised his role to sing. I think it was his son at least, to reprise the role to sing Butterfly again for Try.
07 in the chat.
07 in the
a
chat.
goat.
For a goat, the goatest of goats. And then we have an anime character.
Yes.
This is the profile picture that Orange Star uses. They have that on the Vocaloid wiki. He is a producer of Vocaloid music specifically. Or they are, sorry. I'm
Okay.
using he, but I do not know their
Okay.
identity at all. They have made some of my favorite Vocaloid songs, one of them being Tomorrow's Night Sky Patrol, which is one that has been heavily covered by a lot of people over the last 10 years or so. Actually, probably more, but then there's also multiple other songs, such as Henceforth, which is a really good one, and Ooze, and multiple others. But yeah. And
Okay.
then we have.
Yeah, though I was thinking, I'm not super into Vocaloid, but like I listened to it from time to time, and those songs did not ring a bell. But I guess like I've listened to like more of the mainstream, like stuff like Matryoshka, Double Area, stuff like that, like Triple Baka. It's like it's the super mainstream stuff. So
And those are, I'm sorry to say this, but those are like ancient at this point. Some of those are
I know.
15 years old.
Yeah, I know
So
those are. So
if there's anyone that was born after like 2006 watching this, and I'm sorry, we'll try to be less profane, okay? I understand that your mom probably doesn't let you watch bad content on the internet, but you know,
they could be
if somebody
18.
born, I don't, that's bro.
That's fucked
Okay.
up.
But you know,
If you shout out to you if you're born 2006, let us know. That's awesome. Congratulations on turning 18.
congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good on you, buddy. Good on you, little champ. But yeah, the kids probably have not heard of these before. Triple Block has got like some more mainstream appeal now because there's more memes about it. But still, Orange Star is like has been producing Vocaloid music for at least like 10 to 13 years at this point. So they're kind of an old as well. They had a break and whatnot, but they make some of my favorite ones.
Cool.
And then we have
The anime Nightcore profile picture.
Kuroneko, 96 Neko.
I was gonna say that sounds like a name I've heard, but let's just say it's probably in like 15 different contexts that are none of them are probably this artist. If I had to
So, did you know that there was this series that aired a while back called Paripi Kome, which was about an ancient
guess.
Chinese strategist.
The
Yeah.
opening is an absolute banger.
Yeah. So Kuroneko sang all the insert songs for the main character. For
Oh
example,
shit!
that
That's
was
sick.
like the most recent like thing that I can think of. She also
They were
sang
bangers.
the recent opening for Negaposi Angular, which is a fairly new anime which started airing like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I originally found her kind of in a similar place that I found the guy above Orange Star, or the person above Orange Star, which is through Vocaloid songs. She used to do quite a few Vocaloid songs. And eventually, like, of course, she started doing her own stuff, like branched out, started getting her own songs out there, but still, like, proceeded to do a lot of covers and whatnot. There's a lot of good covers from her. Like, if you've ever heard Kamipoi, for example, she did a
Yes.
really popular cover. of
It's a
that.
banger.
Yeah, she has a really good cover. And then there's
I'm also,
like she's the first Utaita that I listened to pretty much. That's why
gotcha.
she's here.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, it might be here and I'm just not realizing it, but I'm like, no way you didn't put whoever, was it no, I don't want to say because I'll misremember the name, but whoever did like Guilty Gear music.
See, my thinking was I was gonna put Daisuke where the like middle bottom middle
Was
one
it
is.
Daisuke Uehara?
Yeah, Daisuke Ishitoare.
Ishido. Okay, thank God I didn't go for it because I would have had the name wrong. But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, Kuroneko 10 out of 10 artist. I like her. She's also a VTuber nowadays. She, for example, played a game of Apex while singing Running into the Night. Very talented. And then we have
cool.
another
didn't-
Vocaloid producer.
You didn't want to elaborate on the Daisuke thing? It felt like you were starting to say something and then it was like, yeah.
I just didn't put, because like again I was like, ah shit, I literally only have J Rock on here, what, or J Pop on here. Shit, what the fuck? No, yeah, best, let's go. And then I was maybe I'll put Daisuke here, but then I was like, I'll think of something else. I'll think of something that I've listened to recently, and then something very very out of left field.
So then
we
your
have
Steam persona?
My Steam profile picture. This character is Shuya Kano. He is from Mekoku City Actors. You should know him.
Oh yeah, I know the show. Haven't seen it.
He's the thing that this is supposed to represent is specifically Jin P, who is again another Vocaloid producer. He produced the music for
that
all
name
of.
sounds very familiar.
he produced all the music for Mikaku City Actors, for example, and all of Mikaku City Actors is based off of his writings and the story that his like music videos tell.
Cool.
Kage Pro as a whole was a really big part of my life at one point, and it was very, very like it's very cool. Like the music is all over the place. He does a lot of really like different sounding rock songs usually. There's not really any rap because it's a Vocaloid. Like he's a Vocaloid producer, he can't really do rap or anything like that. But there's pop. There's pop and rock and anything in between. Other than it's really cool. I like his style a lot. There's a lot of covers for it, and most of the stuff like that I've listened to is of course like covered versions because the covered versions tend to have a little bit more to it. Like for example, I recently listened to a cover by Volpes Carter, and that was a really good version of Lost Time Memory.
Cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend listening to Kage Pro music as a whole because there are some songs in there that are banging.
Nice.
And we have Enbuna, not Yorushka. Enbuna specifically. Yorushka can go into this category as well, but I feel like stuff like Yoaketo Hotaru, which is Dawn and the Firefly, is that song speaks to me on a primal level, not even primal, an emotional level. I really really enjoyed that song. I've listened to it far too many times to count. I highly recommend it. But Nbuna is specifically another Vocaloid producer who eventually branched out to do his own music, and then eventually started working together with I don't remember if I think the duo's name is Yoroshika, but it's not the name of the person that he's working with, whose name I don't recall right now.
Okay.
But Yoroshika is a very popular J singer. Like they sing a lot of really popular songs, such as the second opening to Freerun, for example. That's one of the most popular songs that they've recently. But that's like at least one.
I haven't seen Freerun. Crucify me.
Crucifying you next time I see you. But yeah, Nbuna, highly recommend. And then we have the bottom left one. That is Nuyabes or Nujabes. I don't remember if you do like I don't know what they're called, but when you do J instead of like Nuyabes or Nujabes. But yeah, Nujabes is a Japanese music producer who man, there's a fucking genre. He spawned an entire genre of like music in his own, like on his own, that people still copy. He made the music for Samurai Champloo, for example. That's probably the one that you can know him from.
Yeah.
But like there are so many songs and so many like things that pay tribute to him that you could argue that he has created a music genre that people still copy. He unfortunately passed away at a fairly young age, and yeah, he's someone that I only recently really started listening to, but I ended up running into the fact that there's a song in the game Stray, which is a guitar
the
cover.
cat one.
Yeah, there's a guitar cover of a song that like I felt like this song like is good. This sounds really fucking good. And then I ended up running into another song by Nujabes, which was like, wait, I've heard this before. I have literally heard this song before, and turned out the acoustic cover of the song was that song. Like it was a cover of that song by Nujabes.
That's cool.
That's like, oh shit, this song is awesome. I like this a lot. It was specifically counting stars or counting the stars, I think.
Gotcha.
That was good. Like, there's also a couple of other really good ones. I really like Yes, for example. Yes, it's such a strange song to listen to, but it's a really really nice one. Like, I would not dare to compare them because I have no real point of reference outside of Comfortably Numb for Pink Floyd. But I would imagine that if Pink Floyd and Nuyabes were ever working together, they would have a really good time together. Probably not, but that's me spitballing because I don't know anything about these two people.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then we have
This picture is so cursed.
it's Good Kid. That's the band. It is a indie band that I recently discovered through a video by Lextorius. Lextorius had a bit in his like history of game controllers video where he was like, guys, it's just game controllers. Obviously, it's not gonna take too long to like go over what their history has been. And he's like, so in the 2000 years ago, and then a song by Good Kid starts playing, and that bit in the song was like, oh, that's really catchy. I wanna figure out what the song is, and then I went and listened to basically all of their discography in a day.
Nice.
And they got some good music. Yeah, specifically the song that I'm talking about is "Bubbly," and that's a really nice song. It's got some
English or Japanese.
English. That is why they are actually on here, because I was like, damn, dude, I got I'm gonna go 9 for 9 on Japanese
You
artists. here.
literally
Holy
went like,
shit.
okay, this kinda looks maybe like Soul Bad Guy. You know, the red jacket, like
Yeah.
flames. You know, it's kinda Soul Bad Guy.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
just
Soul
put it
Bad
in
Guy.
there.
Yeah, but it's good. I highly recommend you check them out. They got some good songs. Like Summer, they recently made like covers of their older songs with acoustic
that's
covers,
neat.
and they're really nice. Like they made there's a song they have called First Rate Town, and they made it into a cover called Second Rate Town. And it's just an acoustic cover of First Rate Town. That's cool. Then we have
DJ Quag on the mic.
It's
Spits
Turbo.
on mud. It's what?
It's Turbo.
Oh, I forgot he
Yeah.
has. Completely forgot he has Quagsire as his profile picture. So yeah, I did know one person here.
You did, in fact.
Finland
This is Turbo.
represent. Let's go.
But yeah, it's Turbo who does a bunch of Eurobeat covers of random ass songs. I was listening to some. I was playing Slay the Spire last night on stream, and I was like, bro, I can't think of anything to listen to.
Weebfox. Why did I plug myself? Fuck. What was that, bro? Some brainworm took over. Twitch.tv/Jeexx. Why do both of our names end in X's, bro? What? I actually just got possessed. What the fuck was that? Yeah.
But I was playing Slay the Spire, and I was like, I need some banging tunes, and I couldn't figure anything out, so I just put on some Eurobeat covers by Turbo, and yeah, they're not actually covers, like entirely remixed the songs.
I mean,
like A Cool Angel's Thesis Euromix remix, and the Idol remix. Those are really strong. They're really powerful.
I also really like the Chainsaw Blood one, but I mean, he doesn't miss. Like, you put on any Turbo song and it's gonna be a bang. Eurobeat is also, I feel like Eurobeat is a genre that you can just, anyone can listen to, and it would be very strange if someone was like, bro, I don't like Eurobeat. It's like, what? I think that's how they know who the aliens are.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that about does it.
That's a solid list. I'll give it up.
Thank you. I did not compliment yours, but I should probably compliment yours in hindsight. I feel like most of the artists in there were people that I should have probably heard of at some point, and the few that I have heard of, I most definitely should have listened to more music from. Like Man with a Mission has a bunch of really good songs that I never got around to re-listening to.
I mean, to be fair, you knew double the amount, and you also knew them by the picture already, and then a few more you were like, oh yeah, it's them. Like, after I said, like, you talking about people with like, I was like, I mean, yeah, I've listened to some Final Fantasy soundtracks, and obviously I know Turbo, but everything else was like, yeah, I got no clue, basically. So
that's fair. I kind of specifically picked it in that way as well, where it could be interesting to just see like completely new artists that you might not have heard of.
You came here to educate us, which I appreciate.
Listen to Vocaloid.
Vocaloid
music is good.
Hey, listen to Vocaloid, basically.
Yeah, listen to Yoroshka and listen to more Mbuna stuff. That is all.
Perfect. That is going to be our takeaway from today. But that is going to do it for the episode proper for us today. Nice little hour 50, and then whatever the deck breakdowns and stuff is, then it'll be a nice 2+ hour episode, which I don't think that's too bad, but we'll probably be back next week with some like on the spot yapping, and I feel like we'll like whenever we get like ideas for some theme stuff like this, we then might as well bust it out then. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. So thank you for if you made it all the way here. Thank you also for listening to the pod segment. I feel like this is just started as just a fun little gag, but I feel like this will be a nice fun addition to what we're doing already, and reason for us to talk about whatever on the day we want to talk about. So I think that's pretty cool, because we love yapping over here.
Yapping is what I do every Sunday
over on twitch.tv/Jeexx.
Yeah.
You can also turn into twitch.tv/Weebfox, but it's always a 50-50 if I'm there or not, because lately I've been putting some YouTube stuff out on Sparking Zero, which you can also find right here on the channel. in addition to all the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff and whatever then additional stuff I have every now and then. But Jesus sent me some like Cat 69 videos, so I think that's something that I will start
Probably shouldn't
recording
watch.
and then go enjoy on my own time. So thank you all for watching once again, and hopefully we will see you next week for Secrets of Eternity. I already forgot. I said it at some point.
Secrets of Eternity and
Secrets
Astral
of
Pack 5.
Eternity and Astral Pack 6. We
Six.
did
Six.
last time.
Okay.
And watch me now be wrong when we check. But I said it once, so hopefully you know. And if you somehow made it here and are a Yu-Gi-Oh listener, just, I don't know, just put your favorite emoji in the comment section. I feel like that's fine. I was going to say something else, but like we already have the people that were born in 06 like exposing themselves. Like now, give us your favorite emoji, unless it's the poop emoji, because I don't want to see that shit.
Yo, this series is straight poop emoji.
Straight poop emoji. Okay, I'll give it up if you write that exact sentence. Okay, we're gonna stop stalling now. We'll catch you hopefully back here next week. So have a good one, y'all, and peace.